your granddad, Joe Blanchard, was also a professional wrestler and promoter.
Yes.
And how has their careers shaped who you are today?
Growing up, I never really, wrestling, my dad was always a wrestler, but I never really knew who he was because that was before my time. So growing up, that was dad and grandpa to me. He snores, he watches golf and rubs my feet. That was dad to me. So it never really hit me until 2012 when we were at the WWE Hall of Fame and people are stopping us on the side of the road to get pictures and autographs of my dad. And I was like, my dad? You want his autograph? So it never really hit me that he was huge in the WWF, WWE world until around that time. But, growing up, hearing stories, it all just kind of seemed like a fairy tale to me. But it's all starting slowly, but it's becoming realistically.
Wow. So realistic that understand that you are now training to be a wrestler?
Yes, I am. I'm in the ring every week with George South at High Spots down on Independence. They're so supportive there, and they all help me so much. George is amazing to work with, and he honestly, he really helps me. And all the guys there, they also help me. They kind of look at me on the same level as them, which is good because they've been doing this for 8, 9, 10 years, and I'm so brand new, but it's awesome working with them.
So what are you learning? What type of holes are you learning?
Oh, goodness. Well, to start off with, George always has us take bumps. That's the main thing. He always stresses that's the first thing you have to learn, taking a bump. And at first the headaches were completely awful falling on the mat, but then you get used to it. And George has us, you can do a hip toss, a sleeper, suplexes, everything you need to know.
Basically, you kind of sling me around the room right now if you really wanted to, right?
If I wanted to, you better believe it.
And tell me, Terrell, how did you get started with acting? Is this something that you went to school for?
No. It's fortunate that I've just known a lot of friends of the business. Opportunities arise, and they would call me and say, "Listen, man, are you available to be in a stage play? Because I got a couple of friends that are looking for some new actors and actresses." And opportunities came about. I said, "Sure, why not?" I went and auditioned and got most of the parts that I've auditioned for. One of those parts being with a wonderful playwright, Mr. Tyler Perry, in Medea's Family Reunion, which spawned off to do some phenomenal numbers, and it was a very wonderful time, doing that with him. So yeah, I'm grateful.
Well, I certainly love Tyler Perry's work.
Yes.
And tell me, was that a life changer for you? How did that impact your career?
Oh man, yes. But working with Tyler Perry has been a wonderful, wonderful experience. From there on, of course, he's one of today's biggest film producers and directors, in the business.
Well, I want to shift gears just a little bit because You're not just an actor, but you're also an awesome singer and recording artist.
Well, thank you.
I understand that you produce as well.
Yes, I do. I am presently and currently working on my new EP called A Little Bit of Love. Which is, I have a song on the album called No One's Better Than You, which is featured in the play, The First Lady. Right now I have another single that's out. It's called We Can Make a Date, which is on iTunes right now. So it's just been released, and it's getting some pretty good numbers, and so I'm happy. I'm very happy.
Honestly, I didn't even see it coming, It's just it hit me one day. The idea of being an artist. I've been making beats my entire life since the age of 10. By the age of 20, I already had 300 songs in my catalog, just instrumentals. And I looked up to Timbaland and Pharrell and, the greats, and was like, I'm just going to be a dope producer. But, little did I know I was going to turn into an artist. remember when I was first starting out, my dad bought me Cakewalk, and that's how I used to make my songs. And he always told me, he was like, yo, Jason, man, it's cool to learn other people's records, but you need to make your own. And, you know, that really stuck with me. And, you know, I can definitely say it's paying off now, man. And, you know, being able to do concerts where I'm performing all original music and people rocking with me like they heard the records before. It's the most rewarding feeling in the world. It really is. I mean, you know, there are no shortcuts, really. You know, it's a formula, you know, and you can't skip any steps. You know, it doesn't matter how much talent you have, how much skill you have. It all boils down to your discipline and perseverance. What are you willing to give? What are you willing to, you know, to pursue? You know, what are you willing to sacrifice? And it took me a long time to understand it, and it's still honestly something that I'm still working. But you know, it never dies. It never changes.
Oh, yeah. I wonder why, oh why.